I'm using this Dragonfly Garden and Dragonfly Wishes stamp sets. I'm really thrilled. These came out in our mini catalog and they're carrying over into our annual catalog, which everybody's really happy about because they're just great. But the paper is not carrying over and now it's completely gone. We had our retiring list come out and now all this paper is gone. I couldn't even grab myself another pack. So Stampin' Up! Stuff is so amazingly popular that when you see it and you like it, you need to get it. You really can't afford to wait. People put these wish lists together and you almost have to go and rob a bank just so you can get everything at once. No, I'm just kidding. But you really pick out your favorites, and especially papers. Papers often do not carry over. Yeah, so here's our sketch. It's kind of a nice, simple sketch today. So we've got our card base, which is 5.5 by 8.5. Okay, so I just basically have to pick, I always pick my DSP first, and then I pick out my coordinating cardstock color. So I'm going to make this piece a DSP piece. I'm going to do a circle. I might do some ribbon here. This is 1/2 inch by 4 1/4. I might do some ribbon because we have some great coordinating ribbon. The yellow in here is called Bumblebee, so I do have some Bumblebee ribbon. And I want to put a big butterfly in here. So I have to decide. I really love this one right here. But maybe I should do, this is 2 1/4 by 5.5, so that's oriented the wrong way. I could do this beautiful butterfly one. Oh, this is kind of interesting too. I like that. So I might do that. So let's decide on my card. So maybe we'll go with Blackberry Bliss. It's a gorgeous color, or I could go with Mossy Meadow. If I do the Blackberry Bliss ribbon, maybe I should do Mossy Meadow as my card base. This is the fun part about designing your card, I think, is picking out your colors, and always start with your DSP and then coordinate your colors. And of course, as I'm always saying, it makes it easier when you go with everything from one company because all of the colors match. So I'm going to actually do a 10-fold card this time. So I'm going to put this in at 5.5 and score that. Okay. Okay, so here's our card base. And so I'm going to use this as my DSP on here. And this goes the full length. This is 5.5 inches. So it's 2 1/4 by 5.5. So let me cut this at 2 1/4. 2 1/4 by 5.5. Are you crafting today, Christine? Or are you just sitting with your coffee? I want to show you this ribbon. Some people really don't care for ribbons, but I love ribbon. I love tying bows. I love adding that, just that little extra. The only thing is, Stampin' Up! Doesn't make it easy to get the ribbon going. Okay, here, look at this. It's a sheer ribbon. Isn't that pretty? Here you can see it better. Look at that. It's got little lines in it. It's just gorgeous and so soft. I think this is going to tie a beautiful bow. Yeah, look at that. Okay, so we've got our card base and we've got this. Okay, and then we're going to do a circle. Now, I'm really sad to say that these dies are retiring. They will no longer be available. And these have been so popular. These are our squares, ovals, and our circle dies, and they are retiring. I use these all the time, and they do coordinate with the other sets that we have. This is the other sad thing. So these circles are staying. They are carrying over in our new catalog. these ovals are retiring, and so are our squares. The squares, these two are retiring, and these are retiring. So if you've been thinking about getting these collections, Carol, I think you got the ovals. Yeah. But having these, it just makes it so much easier to just cut your square, especially for those quilt cards that I've been showing you, and the ovals are always nice. Anyway, yeah, you can check my my online store at ericaedney.stampinup.net. That was my online store. Just go to ericaedney.com and there's a link to my store, and you can take a look at what's retiring. But a lot of the dies retiring, but of course the fun thing is they're bringing in new dies. So this is one of my favorites, this large circle, because it has, these all have stitching around them. Let me just get these out of the way. So this is kind of fun. Okay, so we're going to put this on here. Now, I think I might want a bit of design over here. So I was telling you about the use of Versamark not too long ago, right? Versamark is our sticky embossing ink, and it acts as a great watermark ink. So look in this stamp set, there are these little tiny dragonflies here. I don't think they're dragonflies. I'm not quite sure what kind of little creatures those are. They may be those little bugs that fly around that the bats like to eat. So I think I will maybe do those as a background on my stamp set. So let's just grab a block. There we go. Okay, I'm looking at my comments just to catch up with you. Christine, you're, oh boy, I'm jealous. Can you make me a coffee and send it through the airwaves? If you don't have coffee, you don't function. Well, yeah, that happens with some people. I managed to, you know, get some breakfast in me before I went out, though, this morning, but I didn't get my coffee. Okay, this is very, very faint here. And I want to do these in some random directions. And as it dries, it should get a little bit lighter. It just adds a little bit of texture. Of course, you could have ran the front of your card through an embossing folder if you wanted to. That's another idea. These are just flying in all kinds of directions here. Okay. So I just did those down sort of like the right side of the card. Okay, so those need a bit of time to dry. So let's work on what I'm going to do with this circle now. I need to grab a piece of, now the background of my designer series paper is, you could use either vanilla or Whisper White, it looks like. I think I'm going to use Whisper White though. So let me think now. I think I might want to stamp. I might stamp the butterfly, and then I'm going to, oh, actually, hang on. This would be really cool. Okay, so here's an idea I have. So here's my circle. So sometimes what I do is I'll put my die down, and then I'm going to take a pencil. This just gives you an idea of what I do. And I just do a light pencil mark inside the circle, just so I can see where I'm stamping. Okay, and then I'm going to put this on a block. That's not quite big enough. Get my bigger block. Okay. And I don't want this too dark. I don't want it in black. So I think I will do it in a gray color. I love this gray granite. Yeah, Christine, speaking of more basics, I mean, Stampin' Up! Used to have a lot of punches, and now they've pretty well gotten rid of all of our circle punches. So they're really moving die-based, which I love dies, of course, but I always thought punches were just quicker. You can just grab a punch and go. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this, now I'm not worried about my mat, it's already a bit mucked up. I usually put another scrap piece of paper down there, but I've been doing a lot of work this week and it kind of got mucky. Okay, so there is that. See, look how pretty that is. I did color this image once. It was a bit fussy to cut. Not cut, what am I saying? Color. I colored it. Okay, now another thing I might do is I might take a butterfly. Not a butterfly, dragonfly. Okay, now I'm going to do this. I want this faint again, so I think I'll do that. What do I do with that stamp pad now? Here it is. I think I'll do the same color as the base. Might have him flying into the flowers for something a bit different. Let's have him fly into the flowers. Okay, now there is this little wing here, and I haven't really used this yet, so I'm going to try it out. It's not meant to fit perfectly, so I've been told. It kind of goes two different directions. So let's try that out. Now I want to do that in a color. How about this? Yeah, let's bring in, now I already have two, so what I do is I put a little pocket inside my stamp sets, those stamp sets where I cut things out ahead of time. So I already had these two dragonflies. I actually cut these out, punched these out from the paper. So a lot of our designer series papers often will coordinate with the punch. And so I already punched these out. So I kind of wanted to make a bit of a shadow thing here. So I'm not quite sure which one I'm going to use. So let's try this little guy out. Let's do some Blackberry Bliss in the background. My camera setup is a little bit awkward in that my stand is right in front of my inks. So if I don't remember to pull down my inks ahead of time. Now these would have been easier if they were photopolymer, but like I said, they're not meant to match up exactly. There we go. Let's do the other side. Oh, there we go. Just kind of gives a little fuzzy look to that. Now, if you wanted to, I'm going to grab my Wink of Stella, and you can paint over, while your ink is still a little bit wet, you can paint over with your Wink of Stella, and it will pull the color out. See how I'm pulling the color? But the color will only pull if you catch it in time. That ink has to still be a little bit wet. Okay, so you have to make that decision pretty quickly. But look how pretty that is. And you can't even tell now that the other half of the wings were kind of in a different direction. Look how pretty. Okay, so I have to let that dry. And we could add a tiny bit of color to the flowers. Maybe we could just add a little bit of a bright orange on those centers. So I'm just gonna pull in my alcohol markers here, and I'm just gonna color these daisies, or Lazy Susans, not sure which ones they are. Okay, and now I can go and I'm gonna go and cut that out. Okay, so I'm gonna let that dry a few seconds longer. So let's pull in our DSP and get this glued down. So grab my silicone mat, and I'm gonna grab my tape runner. Like so. So excited. Our new I got the PDF for the new catalog as a demonstrator. We get to see it early. And I'm pretty excited about some of the stuff in there. Look how pretty that paper is. Love that. Love the color combinations. At first when I saw it, I thought, oh, it's kind of dark. But I like it now. Okay, so I'm going to go and cut this out, and I'll be right back. Oh, look how pretty that is. Let's pull in my sketch again. So I think I'm going to use both these butterflies, I think, and bring them in, flying into the flowers maybe. And I'm going to put these on dimensionals. So we'll put one here and one here. Okay, let's bring this little dragonfly coming in from this side, and then we'll have this dragonfly. Luckily, these all turned out to be different colors, which is great. And let's bring this one in from this side. There you go, there's our card. What do you think? Well, that was a pretty simple card. And the card is not complete unless I do some little gems of some sort. So I'm not quite sure. I love these little gold ones. These are really cute. I could do these on the heads of the dragonflies maybe. These are too cute. Oh, thanks, Christine. You like the card? Yeah, it's turning out pretty good. Here's one more. Okay, there you go, ladies. There is our card sketch for today.